What's cooking, good lookins? I have a new video for you guys. I'm so excited. I've been putting it off and putting it off, but this is me trying to get more uh, content created for you guys. So apologies for the delay. A lot's been going on since the hurricane, actually. That Delta HCon was my last vid, and a lot has happened. I'm not going to go into it right now because I want to get this episode going. I am doing my first everything I read in a month for July because today's the last day. And I'm very proud of myself because I did really good. I've been struggling to make these kind of content videos for you guys because July worked out in my favor. I think partially thanks because of the hurricane and other things, I've been able to read more. I have my whole pile is like right here. And I wouldn't do previous videos because it was like maybe one or two books and I felt like, oh, that's not worth, a video for you guys. But I think I should have done it anyway because I think a lot of us watch book talkers, booktubers, bookstagrammers, I think that's the term. And we might get intimidated by some of these creators who are like, oh, I read 7 books in a week, or here's everything I read in a month, and here's this and that. And I'm here as someone who used to be an avid reader who fell out of reading and is now getting back into reading because she has all of these things that she wants to go through finally. I'm not lying. Some of these books I've had on here since middle school, high school kind of things. So I am taking inspiration from creators like Easy Cat, Bumblebeezus, Books and Crafts. Those are some of my personal favorites to really sit down and focus on my books and go through these. And if I love them, I'll keep them. If I don't love them, they gotta go. So that's what we're working on. And I think that's it. So let's just get into it. So again, there are no rules to what you want to read, how you want to read, as long as you read. Again, coming from well, let me rephrase. I never gave up the love of reading. I just didn't read books for a long time. It was mostly fan fiction. It's still a lot of fan fiction, but honestly, my fan fiction reading, I feel like I've gone into a slump. So I'm trying to basically take like a palette break and go through, like I said, my books. And Easy Cat's been a big influence and inspiration to me in that sense. So I'm reading all the stuff that I haven't read on my shelf, and we're going to figure out what's got to stay and what's got to go. Most of these are going to stay. I'm just going to go ahead and spoiler that for you guys. So, all right, let's go into it. So the first one that I finished, they're so heavy, goddamn. Is the IDW Collection Volume 9. Guest starring Bailey, sorry. I love these. It's based on the 2011 IDW Ninja Turtles collection. I had to remember it all in my head. And as you can kind of see, right back here, I have almost half of them now, or over half of them. I've been catching up. I had the individual books up until book 3. And then I was like, you know what? I really like the styles of this. I love the cover. Plus, it incorporates all the graphic novels related to the series. So you get the micro tales, the mini tales, everything just related to this particular line. So I like that I can just have, granted they're heavy, but they come with the matching bookmark ribbon. So I like that I can have it all in one place. It's in order. I don't feel like I'm jumping around missing a lot of stuff. And it's giving me a good reason to get rid of some of the excess fluff, you can say. There's Bailey. She wanted to say hi. And just look how pretty they look. They look so nice. I really love them. But they heavy. They heavy boys. So I read volume 9, which includes issues 67 and 72 of the Ninja Turtle series. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universe issues 9 through 15, and the TMNT Usagi Yojimbo crossover, which isn't like an original tale, but it's a really good read. I love it. The book is nice and hefty. In this one, the mutanimals are hunted by the EPF, the Earth Protective Force, and one of them is turned to the dark side and is now after the other mutanimals plus the boys. And now, on top of everything else they got to deal with coming from the Pantheon, they have to deal with this. So, and I'm kind of explaining. This gives me ideas. I might do a whole thing on them one day. I'm still missing number 2. Not that I'm missing number 2, it's just that I've already read it. So I wanted to just keep going versus start going ahead and getting books that I already had. But I went and got number 1 because it was like on sale recently. So Diverging. So I love it. 10 out of 10. Definitely would recommend, especially if you're a Ninja Turtle fan, or even if you're not a Ninja Turtle fan. This is just a really fun story to get into. It's got a lot of angst. It's got a lot of family dynamics and the brothers and a bunch of friend dynamics. And I just want to cuddle all the boys. They go through so much. They need a hug. They need a hug, damn it. Next one, I read again, The Last Ronin. This just rip the knife. Just twist the knife. We'll be good, right? So The Last Ronin, I'll go ahead and talk about it, is the story of all the Ninja Turtles are dead except for one. And since this book has been out for a few years, I'll go ahead and say it. It's Mikey. No one expected it to be Mikey. It is cruel and unusual punishment to make the happy-go-lucky Ninja Turtle the survivor of his family's death. It is disgusting. It is terrible. How could you do that to my orange boy? Mikey's not even like my top favorite, but how dare you? But regardless, I love it. It made me cry again. I hate crying. But my poor boys. It's into the future. It really digs into how all the brothers and Master Splinter passed away, and what Michelangelo had to go through in order to redeem himself and avenge his family's murders. And it's such a great book. I feel like there's a little bit missing as far as the like basically how like it's kind of a dystopian future. New York City's completely walled off from everything else. I don't understand. I guess I wish like that part had been explained better as to how Shredder's grandson managed to just completely wall off a city. But I'll still give it a 10 out of 10. I love it. Of course, I'm keeping it. It's very sad. So again, if you like emotional superheroes, this is a good one to have. It's just sad as hell, but at least it has a hopeful ending with April and Casey's daughter, Casey Marie, right, talking to the new baby turtle, saying I can't wait for you guys to grow up and to teach you everything that I learned. It's just so sweet, and I just love that so much. So approved. And then I got The Lost Years. Oh, this cover is just amazing. I love it. So this is technically Last Ronin 1.5. I know Re-Evolution is coming out, and I'm gonna wait for it to come out in this hardcover. It's so good. So The Last Ronin takes the Lost Years takes place kind of both before the events of The Last Ronin and just after the events of Last Ronin. So you get to see how Michelangelo becomes the Last Ronin after finding out how Master Splinter and Donatello passed away. They were the last ones to go, and then Mikey followed him. So from that point, finding out that he is the lone turtle and he has to go start his new journey, and what all he's had to come up against and build himself up to, the friends that he's made and lost, everything he's had to, all the trials and tribulations that he's had to go through to become the Last Ronin. And it is a wonderful journey to see him go through, going to all these different countries. And again, going back to how like New York was completely blocked off and everything, all these other countries are, again, dystopian versions of what they are currently. So a little bit more background into how A plus B equals C would have been really great. It would have been nice to know like what exactly happened to the governments to be like, oh yeah, this is all happening. But I feel like it was kind of like a almost World War III situation that somehow started with the turtles. So in between those stories, we get to see the new babies grow up, and we watch the lessons that Casey Marie and her mother April are teaching the kids, and they are so wonderful. I just love watching them. And they're all, the new names are Uno, E, Odin, and Crud. It's the other girl. I made a mistake. What's the other girl's name? I have to check. Moja. Yeah. So there's 2 girls and 2 boys now, so I love this. They're all different species of turtles. They're all so cute. And it's really great because in the end they show them ready for the new series. Here we go. They look like they're papas. I'm gonna call it their papas. Look at them. They all have their like weapon that they're clearly they have the personalities of the original Ninja Turtles, but they're also raised like the Last Ronin to use all their weapons and stuff. But it's clear that they have favorite weapons. I just love that. I love how it's like, here's the new generation of Ninja Turtles, just as good as the original Ninja Turtles. I cannot wait for Re-Evolution to come out in this so I can just devour it. Oh my gosh. 10 out of 10. I know I'm doing like a lot of 10 out of 10. Don't worry. It stops right there. The next set I did was this honker. I've had these for a while. My light's being weird. It's the Infestation series. And I'm annoyed because I did my research, missing the last one. And this one, well, let me start over. So, Infestation, I don't even remember how I found these comics. I think I was just looking at Transformers comics. That's the comic I really got into. First was Transformers and then Turtles. It's a struggle trying to find comic books, you guys, okay? My comic book lovers, they should understand. So, starting with Infestation, it's, how do I explain this? So, it's a crossover, which sounds cool on paper, but I don't think it was executed really well. It's basic, and instead of, so it's zombies. It's about zombies. I mean, you can clearly tell. And in the first one, we start with the covert vampiric operations. I've never read that comic before. I have no idea what the heck's going on. But it starts in their world. Apparently, there's a dimension of zombies, because of course there is. And they breach the portal, come to the CVO world, and there is a vampire named Brit who becomes infected by the zombies. And so, whatever all powerful force related to the zombies uses her to try to bring about basically the apocalypse. And so, her colleagues, Cross and what is his name? Bulls. I don't like that name. It's not a great name. Not my favorite. But I don't know anything about this series, so it is what it is. And honestly, I'm not even 100% sure what happened. But I think Brit was technically not entirely taken over. So, but somehow her essence gets split into multiple pieces and then scattered across the multiverse, including the world of the Transformers and the G.I. Joes. So in volume 1, after they like stopped the zombie threat, which they made it sound like the zombies were extra specially powerful, like can't you just shoot them in the head, set them on fire, that kind of thing, like every other zombie movie has done. Apparently it didn't work that well. So when Brit was separated into all these pieces, she goes into these other worlds, but Cross and Bulls don't go after her. It's just Brit, or versions of Brit, zombie Brit, that goes around, and they're just silly. I don't understand where this fits in with like the Transformers lore, and I may have to reread the IDW versions again. I mean, there's a lot. Like this down, that's all Transformers right there. I'm not even joking. I don't think that section, I think that section is Ninja Turtles and everybody else, no. I'm incorrect. Yeah. This portion of Black Books and down, that's all Transformers comics. There we go. So yeah, I have a lot to go through to even and I'm never gonna find out where this part fits into the story. It's weird. I'm not even sure what happens in it, and they make it kind of sound like it didn't end good for the Transformers. Same thing for the Joes. It's more on Cobra's side, so the zombies are in a Cobra base, and 3 characters I think survive, and that's it. And it's just not very clear what happens at the end of the thing. But I guess the zombie apocalypse isn't coming to these worlds, so And then in the second volume, we go into the worlds of Star Trek and Ghostbusters. So in Star Trek, you have Kirk, Spock, and what's his name? The Doctor. I think his name is Bones. I'm not a Trekkie. I'm sorry, guys. And then in Ghostbusters, it's a Ghostbuster episode. Ghostbusters and Star Trek, at least that one, ended a little bit more clear. It was the red shirts were taken over, but everyone survived. They're just not as infected. Like, they're still zombies, but they're not bloodthirsty anymore or brain thirsty anymore. So there's that. And then the Ghostbusters, they had a zombie Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That was fun. But again, that one, it wasn't, I don't think anything terrible happened, but at the same time, it wasn't clear. And then it ends back at the CVO with them taking out the zombie part of Brit, and Cross somehow becomes a god, essentially. I don't understand. Like I said, I never read CVO. I don't plan on reading CVO. I have no idea what's going on, but sure, whatever. So that was that. Not really a fan. So after that, they have Outbreak, where it's more CVO related. So they get new agents and stuff. This guy, oh, that's not Hellboy, that's one of theirs. His name is, it's close to like Nicodemus or something. And it's called Outbreak because there's apparently an alien outbreak. And Oh, and this is Archie. He talks kind of funny. I'm going to assume if there is like an animated show or something out there, he sounds like Yoda. But he likes to smoke and stuff, and he has some pretty decent like telekinetic powers. And so it's his family that's doing the outbreak, but nobody knows why. Again, Britt and Cross again have these like tattoos because they have magic powers now. Like I said, practically gods. Britt gives all her abilities to him somehow. It's just so weird, guys. And then it opens up to version 2, which is dealing with Lovecraftian nightmare stuff. I hate this one. So this one deals with, again, starts with the CVO, the Covert Vampiric Operations. Apparently H.P. Lovecraft's monsters were real. They have their own dimension. They're trying to get out. Cross, again, having all the magical abilities or whatever, something happens and he actually like opens up all the rifts or whatever. And then we get to deal with, for some reason, we're in the 30 Days of Night universe. And also we get to see Archie again with Bad Boy in Groom Lake. I think that's what he's originally from. Things are fine. I just don't understand like what's going on with those two stories in relation to the whole overall thing. And then we get to the Transformers G.I. Joe part. Transformers, it actually ties in with the Hearts of Steel book because it's set in the 1800s. So that's kind of fun. And then G.I. Joe, it's after, of course, the version, the volume 1. So the survivors from the first book are in this part. And again, somebody finds the portal to open up the hellscape that Cthulhu is in or whatever and tries to bring him out. And it doesn't work, and we're left on a cliffhanger. It goes back to this. No, it doesn't. It's just those two. Yeah. Well, I mentioned the CVO back at the beginning, like, oh no, what do we do now, kind of thing. And the thing is, I don't know what happens next. Because there's a third volume, and it's got the Ninja Turtles and somebody else, and I can't remember what the other book is. But I can't find it. It's out of print. Nobody has it as far as I know. Then again, I haven't spent like hours searching for it. So I'm at an impasse. But needless to say, what's exciting is like a crossover with zombies, aliens, and Lovecraftian hellscapes. It's confusing. I guess I wanted it to be like, oh, the CVO pulls the characters together and they all go fighting the monsters together, and it's not. It's just like an anthology of these individual comic characters dealing with zombies or Cthulhu, which sounds cool on paper, but it's just so confusing and stuff. And I guess part of it, they are good standalone. I guess they're okay standalones, but if you don't care for like Star Trek or 30 Days a Night or whatever, it's whatever. I really want the third one because I read the synopsis. It's one of the turtles gets brainwashed by the monster. So I want to know which turtle gets taken over by Cthulhu because that sounds fun. And maybe it'll be actually emotional charging enough. So I don't know, 5, 6 out of 10 for me, this whole series. It's just a struggle. And it sucks because I've had these since like 2012. This is a 2012 series. So I don't know. I just don't know. It's not the best. I really want to read the ending though. I'll decide what to do with it then. But I don't love it that much. Next up is Nocturne. I got this at, where did I get it from? Like my Jewish Community Center's Book and Arts Festival. It's supposedly a Beauty and the Beast retelling set in 1930s Chicago about ballerinas, which sounds like a great concept. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite fairy tale. This book is terrible. It was so hard to get through, you guys. It's so wordy, and not even wordy in there's so much going on. It's like the character just goes on and on and on about, like, I think for half the book I thought we were just in a fever dream. I thought she was delusional half the time, and I was like, oh, the twist, the thing at the end is she's in an asylum. Like, she created all these people and things and whatever. Didn't even realize it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it's there, but it's this one on the back. But it's a lot of nothing at first. And I feel bad for saying that. Like, guys, this took me months to go through. It's a short book. It's like 21, 22 chapters. How many pages? 230 pages. Yeah, like just under 230 pages. So I know most other people could probably devour this a lot quicker. But to me, it was a struggle. Like, I literally struggled reading this because it just wasn't getting it to me. As soon as I got to like the last third of the book, it got better, but it's a struggle to get to it. So not a fan, probably won't keep it or whatever, but which kind of disappoints me because, again, I love Beauty and the Beast, so I'm all for more stories, but I just couldn't, and I struggled to get through this, but he's there. And then finally, I read, my folks found this at Goodwill, so I was like, heck yeah, I'll read it. So I was able to get it done in like an hour or two. Yeah, it's the Shiny special movie novel of the 2014 Ninja Turtles movie. When he's a 10, but his face is a 2. I like the design from the neck down. The movie was kind of fun. It was a perfect no, but I have not met a Ninja Turtle project that I have disliked. Yeah, I do like, I'm not bullshitting. I like everything turtle related. Some obviously more than others. And this was a fun little read. It's definitely a young book, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyone who says like, oh, but reading doesn't count, like, if you need to just read a short book, like, just go with it. If you're reading to your kids or if you don't have kids, nieces or nephews, or what have you, for whatever reason, if you just have one of these, my folks just know I like reading and they know I like Ninja Turtles, duh. So yeah, I'll probably keep it. I do have the first two movie novelizations from the 90s, and they read a little bit more young adult. Young adult? Probably not new adult. Probably more young adult, yeah. So they read more like that, which is fine. This is clearly made for younger kids because they just don't fully explain the movie. I don't even know if they did like a proper movie novel. I'll have to look that up. But it's cool. It's special. It's got little page, colored thingies inside. Whatever. It helped me kill another book, and that's how I ended up with 10 books read in July. So I'm very proud of myself. Like I said, I've got books on here from middle school and high school and whatever. I don't let any look, if you enjoyed a book and you still remember the joy it brought you all the way from early college, high school, middle school, nobody has the right to tell you you're wrong to read it. Read whatever the heck you want. I've got like all kinds of stuff, and this isn't even all of it. Where are we at? Yeah, there's a whole top shelf missing from the video. I'm gonna have to like fix this whole like situation so y'all can see it better. And um, what else? I've got a whole bookcase in like my bedroom and a bookcase over here in the closet that you guys can't even see. They're both full of books. So this isn't even everything. I have a ton of stuff to get through. So we will see how many I can get through in August. But yeah, so that's what we started. But that's what we did. God, they're so heavy. Ta-da, the stack. It's a good stack. I am very happy with this stack. And I'm gonna leave it at that. About half of them I really liked, and the rest not nearly as much. So, I mean, yeah, I got a bias going, but who cares? So, thank you for tuning in, you guys. Let me know what you thought of this. This is my first everything I read. Constructive create. Can't say words. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. If I'm doing this myself, I'm not really editing anything. So if you guys think I should be doing some other type of edits or anything I can do to improve this kind of content, if you even want to see this kind of content again, please let me know in the comments politely. I don't need anybody saying like, oh, this sucks. I was like, well, thank you. It's my first video, like chill. But anything else, yeah, let me know. If you're interested in reading, that's great. If not, that's okay. Whatever. I like it. And like I said, going through things, I finally got it kind of organized in a sense. It would be nice to maybe get the other two bookcases emptied and in here, but we'll see what goes on. I think that's about it. Like and follow and subscribe. I've got a podcast every Monday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else you listen to your podcasts. What else? I will link all my socials in the description box below. And I think that's all for today. I can't wait to see you guys in a month to find out what I've read. And this time, even if it's only like 1 or 2 books, I promise I will still talk to you guys about it. It'll just be a short video. I'm actually impressed at the timing of this video. So, yay. Yeah, that's about everything. So, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Stay good looking. Keep on cooking. Bailey says bye too, but she's sleeping. And I will talk with you guys again soon.